Then turn right
barbershop
onto
conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button.
Turn right onto West Sunset Road.
So I just got to Vegas and charging the car, and
then turn right onto
well, I didn't just. I got here last night, but I just got up and stuff. But let's talk about it. Errol Spence basically went in on Terence Crawford as it relates to 50-50 and him wanting to fight, and I would have to agree with him, you know. And there's been a lot of conversation as to make the fight, period, no matter the business. And I'm an entrepreneur. I've been a serial entrepreneur my entire life, you know, in addition to teaching and doing it the Orthodox way. I've always had multiple streams of income, whether it was $5 a month or $500 a month. And I believe in, you guys know I've told you guys about the 48 laws of power. And the same thing relates to, if you think about it from a systematic standpoint, same thing as Sodom and Gomorrah. Find me 10 people, you know, God, or I'm going to destroy the city. Same thing with God say you either for me or against me. You either go to heaven or you go to hell, right? You either in business with me or you're not. And I beg the people to answer this question. If you are an entrepreneur, you understand the entrepreneurial mindset. I believe if you have a 9-to-5 job or been a serial 9-to-5 guy, I think you have difficulty understanding how you must eliminate competition and undersell and over deliver as it relates to your product. And I think that I understand that if they're suffocating, you can't take the bag off of their head.
Now take the Interstate 2.
You understand? You got to let them suffocate and die. And I think Bob Arum is in a position where he must suffocate and die. I think post the Kell Brook fight, he's going to be in a lot of hurt if they can make that fight. But I'm assuming, since Eddie Hearn has a man crush on Bob Arum, that fight will be made. And he got into some stuff that I've been saying. All the Terence Crawford fans have been going hard on me. Well, Errol Spence shares the same sentiment I have. You know, he's not really that guy to promote a pay-per-view. You know, Terence Crawford is a great fighter, not a great salesman. He even went as far as what I've been saying. Terence Crawford just obliterated Amir Khan, or I should say was going to obliterate Amir Khan, and they talk about Vasyl Lomachenko as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. You know, every time they mention Vasyl, every time they mention Terence Crawford, they mention Vasyl Lomachenko. And, you know, I would equate like that to a recruit as it relates to Terence Crawford going to top rank. Do you want to go to North Carolina and compete every year against a 5-star recruit? Or do you want to go to North Carolina A&T and be the big fish in the pond? You know, I think Terence Crawford chose to be the big fish in a small pond. He chose $3 million a fight over betting on himself. And you can't be mad at the man. $3 million is $3 million. It just bothers me when everyone, it's basically in plain sight now. Earl said it without saying it. How can you allow yourself to be manipulated by this man for just $3 million a fight when there's so much more money out there? And that's how I feel. I would say Earl and I share similar sentiments, and I would gather that many of the boxing fans that are entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, file for bankruptcy, fully understand the magnitude of betting on yourself and understand the ramifications, positively and negatively. And Terence Crawford is really in a pickle. You know, the underwhelming. He's honest. I was listening to the Boxing Voice on the way up to Vegas last night, and just to galvanize the spirit of their show, he was the pun of every joke. You know, he did less than 150 pay-per-view buys. One on the caller said Errol Spence had more fans than Terence Crawford had in his first pay-per-view. You know, that's insane. You know, Errol Spence had over 50,000 people there in the stadium. You know, if you count the suites, you count the employees, you count all that, 50. You know what I mean? 47,000 paid. You know, but you can't. There's no reason to count them. Just trying to draw a parallel or make this great example. And time is of the essence for Terence Crawford. I think he's 31 years old. I don't know how long his contract is. I heard it was 5 years. So it's probably going to run all the way into post his prime years. I don't know if it's a year. I don't know if it's a year deal.
Now take exit 7 on the
or a number of fights deal, or a combination of both. I have no idea what it entails, but he should understand word for word what his contract means, because he's going to be stuck. And Terence Crawford is going to the Hall of Fame, but he'll never be recognized outside of fight week. If it's not fight week, no one's going to know who Terence Crawford is.
Now turn right
No one cares to, because if you care about someone, you financially, spiritually, and emotionally invest in their career. You know, and 400,000 people invested in Errol Spence's career. And one would argue Amir Khan is a bigger star in New York than Mikey Garcia is in Texas, because of it's a 5-hour flight from Amir Khan's homeland, and UK fans love coming over to New York to come over, and Las Vegas to fight. So I would say it's even, if not 45, 55. You know, it's not much as it relates to Amir Khan's popularity. That's the truth. You know, I'm not talking about the fighter itself. I'm talking about just his profile. Amir Khan has a huge profile, and is it somewhat delusional? Is it somewhat fictitious? Yeah, one would say. You know, Amir Khan job is a hell of a nickname for him, but it's working, you know, and it's profitable for him, so why should he not continue it? But as I digress back into Terence Crawford, every welterweight on the PBC side makes more money than Terence Crawford, with or without a belt. All the top 5 guys, whether it's Danny Garcia, Adrian Broner, and the rest of the 5, Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Sean Porter, all these guys make more money than Terence Crawford. And no matter what Dan